Hello everyone, welcome for Saturday. Tonight we're going to do another Italian red, okay? Now tonight we're doing, this is an inexpensive red. This red sells for about 12, 13 a bottle, okay? It was rated 91 by, uh, no, 92, rated 92 by James Suckling. And I've seen it mostly rated 90 and 91, but he gave it a 92, which is just amazing, for. Now this wine, as we mentioned, you have your regions, your DOCG, your best Italians, not your best Italians, but originally your best, because Antinori came and changed the game rules and he didn't want to follow some of the rules. So he dropped out of that category because they wanted certain percentage of Sangiovese grape, certain percentage of each grape. Like the French have their standards, Italians have their standards. So then they have the DOCG, they have the DOC. Then they have the IGT, and then they have table wine. Like last night's wine, that Barbera, Mariah, that was a DOC wine. Now this is considered to be a step below that, but it's not a step below. But as far as grades go, this is an IGT, which stands for indicates the geographical topography. Okay, now if you look at this wine here, okay, this is what we have here is we have the year, right? It's a Tuscan, okay, so that means it's from the Tuscany region, okay. So it's an ITG, so here it's a Tuscan, okay. Then you also have a 2017, okay. Then you have Poggio. Poggio means knoll or small hill, okay. And then you have the name of the vineyard, okay, or the type of, they call this a wine, okay. It's Badiola. It's a Badiola, and it's done by the Mazzei Vineyards, okay. And the Mazzei Vineyards is Lapo Mazzei in 1398 or 1392, 1398. He has the first only documented thing, the earliest thing that he has Chianti on a manifest where he made Chianti. Okay. Then his granddaughter married into the Castillo Castillo di Fronterios. Okay, when she married into that family, they still own that vineyard. Matter of fact, this vineyard is still the same vineyard. The Massey family has been running it now, and they're married in, and it's kept the name. Matter of fact, the two different wines. The Castillo wines, some of those wines are the more expensive wines. The Massey wines might run, $10 to $90, with the bulk of them being $30 to $50 to $60. They even have a $700. The Castillo has a $700 bottle, but most of their wines are 90, 80, 100, 150, 170. And they're sit-down, aged wines, different grapes, okay? Now this wine is, the Massey family, now, when they got married, okay, they got married in 1492 or whatever, and 1432, I think it was 1430s. They got married, and now the family's still, it's 26 generations now. 26 generations in this family is still on that same land, still making. And Badiola this wine is the name for church. This church was a 10th century church on the grounds. It's a classic Roman church built in 998, and it's on the grounds, and the vineyard overlooks it, okay, and that's what they named it after. It's all called. They also call that church Santa Maria. I don't know if it has anything to do with Christopher Columbus, but Santa Maria. Now, Philippe Massey, okay, in the founding fathers, 7, 8 generations, 10 generations later, the founding fathers in this country, Jefferson, Franklin, and Washington, were good friends with Philippe Massey. And matter of fact, Jefferson invited them over to Monticello, Virginia, and he planted his grapes for him. He's the one who showed him. He's got good. Virginia has some grapes too. They have vineyards. They have the hills. They have the right soil. And the soils in this region, okay, the soils in this region are limestone, callous, clay, because this is right in Tuscany. This is right outside the Chianti region. And we talk about the Chianti regions as being the rolling hills, the good drainage. That's why you have the black rooster on the oldest Chiantis. And as the area is growing, okay, it's maintained. You know, this vineyard's been there centuries. I mean, centuries. 13th century, 10th. You know, so as the wines grew, as they produced, they stay vineyards and they buy up other properties and they grow grapes there. Now this is made of 3 grapes. Okay, this is made of a Sangiovese, which is 65. See, that's why it's another reason to be ITG, okay, or IGT. It's an ITG wine because certain grapes, they want 70% Sangiovese. And this isn't 70, it's 65. So they'll make DOC wines, they make DOCG wines, but this wine, they want to use that. And the reason why they use it, they also make 30% Merlot. You see, now if this was 70-30, it could be a DOC, but it's not 70, so it's 65. But they also use a grape, they use the Petit Verdot. Now, the Verdot grape, okay, is from Bordeaux. It's used primarily in Bordeaux to blend wines. And they very, very rarely ever see it get as high as 10%. It's usually, on this they use 5%, because it's such a bold grape that it overpowers. You know, it's bold. It will make the wine more like, and it changes the color. It'll take it from a vibrant red to a purple, like some of the purple grapes we had last 2 weeks ago. That was because it had the Verdot grape. Now, these grapes give it a much more richer, complex, and you know, some tannins, but it gives it structure and a mineral taste. Okay, so that's why they don't use it a lot. You know, 5%. You know, they've been doing it for this wine. They've been making, I think, since about 35, 40 years. This variety, and that's one of this variety they use. They don't grow a lot of it because it's not used that often. It was popular, and then it was so bold it became, and it's starting to make a small resurgence. But in Bordeaux, it's used exclusively for blending and very small amounts. Okay, now these grapes are handpicked. Okay, now they handpick these grapes. Now they picked the Sangiovese September 12th. They picked the Merlot grape because that doesn't do as well ripening. They picked that in August, usually like August 20th to August 24th. When they do their homework, they do their homework. September 12th, they look at the weather conditions, they look at the charts, they go back, they're tasting the grape, they look into the forecast. If it's cold coming, they might pick it. They pick it early, might pick a different grape later so it ripens. Pick the ones where they want the acidity, you pick that early, get it in, get it macerated. Okay, this wine is also macerated. This is 10 to 15 days. Okay, hand-picked, destemmed, maturization. Then they use, this is 10 months in oak barrels. Okay, put this 10 months in oak barrels. Then after that, they'll use, they'll bottle it. Okay, they bottle it for about 6 months, 4 to 6 months, and then they release it because it ages in the bottle. Some of these wines will age nice in the bottle, especially with the Bordeaux. It's got that big, will carry it through. Okay, and for 92, I haven't had this wine, but if they rate it 90, 90, 92, usually, and they've been doing wine since the 1400s. Not that purple. No, color's bright ruby red. See that? A little tinge on the thing. It looks a little, but it's not as purple as that Gusamano they get last week. Gusamano was, and the wine we had last night was a DLC, a Barber. This is rated higher than that, and See, Antonari's, his wines is hundreds and hundreds of dollars. $140, 150. Taking that, it's always top 10 wines in the. Usually, one of Antonari's wines make the top 10 wines in the world every year. If it doesn't, it's strange that he doesn't have one in the top 10. And he doesn't follow because he wants to. He tweaks them. It's got all the good stuff in it. It's got the cocoa. The berry's a sharp berry. It's almost like a raspberry, not like a plum. Plum rolls more. This has got a little spice to it. It's got good nose. Nice aroma to this. Very nice aroma. And this wine's made to drink between now and 24. Okay. This wine is, it's not made to sit. It's priced correctly. I mean, you can't, like last night's wine, although last night's wine was one of the top 50, this didn't make that. But this is a nice wine. It's got some legs, see that? It's got some rich flavor to it. It's full body. It's cherry. It's got the acidity. Not overpowering, but it has it. It brings some touch to the top of the mouth, almost like a Piedmont, the Chianti region. That Chianti region, that acidity brings your tongue to the top. This isn't like a Chianti, but a Chianti's made to sit longer, made with more tannins. But this, you can see why they use that 5%, 10% grape, because this doesn't taste like a young wine. This is not rambling for definition. You got a young wine. If you made this with a Merlot and a Sangiovese, you probably wouldn't. You bring that 5% and tightens it up, gives it structure. And you wouldn't. I can't taste that wine. I can't say, well, it's got Verdot in it, but when you taste the wine, you can say, wow, it's got tightness, it's got structure. It's, sometimes you might think that's because it's 3 years in oak, 2 years in oak. This doesn't have much oak, but it's 10 months in oak, which is still, a lot of these wines they do them in stainless, especially the whites, because they want that acidity, they want that apple, they want to bring it out. Yeah, you could. This wine got enough acidity. You could do this with. You could do this when you add the pasta. Once again, pizza. I think there's not a red in the world you shouldn't be able to do a pasta with, except you don't want to do a really good red. But you do pasta, pizza. You do a cheese with this. You might even want to do an aged cheese with this. I would do chocolate with this. Nice block of hard cheese, sitting around. Nice app, And you could even do, like if you had a spicy fish, like a big fish, something that's got, not like a sole. You wouldn't do a sole with this, but let's say you had a spicy or a, big game fish. Fish with a mango sauce on or something. This would cut right in, This is nice. Very nice. So, we may have to make a list because we've been hitting them pretty good, I think, lately, I mean, I feel good. These are some nice wines for the price, So, and the year they put on the back, they put it on the front. Some of the Italians, they only put them on the back, but this is got on front and back the year. Well, thank you very much. Have a great night. Happy Mother's Day to everybody tomorrow. And God bless. And let's pray for everybody, okay? And stay isolated. Not isolated, but, keep your distance. Keep your distance. Call everybody on the phone. Say hello. Wave, stay 8 feet away tomorrow, 7 feet, You can visit, but stay 7 or 8 feet. Don't be hugging, okay? Throw a kiss. Go like that, okay? Love you. Take care. All the best to everybody, okay? Take care. God bless.